Hi, I'm Jeff, Customer Success Manager at GoPinLeads, here with your weekly Wednesday webinar. This week we're focusing on how to email the right people. Talking about the right people, Andrew Randall is back in full force in the comments, and I am back in South Africa, Andrew, to answer your question. And Andrew wants to know if I'm still in Bangkok. I was in Thailand recently for a month, which was fantastic. Now I'm back on home soil in South Africa, back on the southernmost tip, and really enjoying the weather. It's beautiful, it's warm. I can't get enough of it. As you may have expected, me going on holiday in Thailand was more of the same. Here, this week, I'm going to be looking really at where you're going to be tweaking the tool to make sure you're getting the exact details you want, and how to fix problems you might come across. So interact in the comments, and I'm going to show you now how you can do that. Okay, so to comment, all you need to do is, if you are watching on GoPinLeads.com, you'll notice that the window that the video is playing in has a YouTube logo. Give it a click, and that will open through to YouTube itself, youtube.com, and you will see the live chat on the right-hand side. Note that you might have to make it visible using the drop-down arrow, but it looks something very similar to this on your side as well. Also, bear in mind that the more you interact, the more we can get the answers to you that you require the most. And also, for anyone who is particularly enthusiastic, there are benefits always. Right, cracking on. You have a search before you for social media agencies in Los Angeles. Now, that's all good and well, and that's the example we're going to be using today. I'm going to show you how we can make sure that we're not getting just a broad list of social media companies. We want to make sure we're getting only the precise ones we want. So in order to do that, I'm casting the net wide, and I'm going through to the subsequent pages of GoPinLeads. If you don't know how to do this, go and watch the previous webinars at this stage. So then this will be sort of a one-up from there. This is slightly more advanced level. Going between the pages is on the more beginner side of things. So I welcome you. The previous webinar, I went into how to do that as well. And there are webinars before that that go into even more detail on the topic. So as you can see, I've gone through to the last page that Google is showing me in their results. And if I go to GoPinLeads and I select all, I've got 88 businesses selected. Fair enough. Moving on, pressing continue, we go through to the employees tab. And now this is where you can start looking for more specifics. So, for example, you may find that you want to reiterate the city that these contacts are from. So if you look through the list on the odd occasion, you'll find that people are not always from the specific area that you wanted them to be from. And this is because people set up their online presences in various ways, and this can reflect differently at times. So if we want to make sure that we are only looking in the Los Angeles area, what you're going to have to do is type in Los Angeles, and that will help you to reiterate that that is an important keyword set for you. You can go ahead and still use the Load More button as you normally would. Make sure that you're getting all of the possible results out of the tool. The Load More button allows you to control how many you get out at all times, as well as save you on resources. So if we keep pressing load more and load more, what we have is an ever-growing list, and you can check on its progress. You can see we had the previously selected 88 businesses and the 74 employees selected over here. Now, there are other types of refinements you can do, and you can see that they all take effect throughout the list. They build on each other, so you need to be careful not to add too many, or you will start running out of results. As you know, the more specific you are, the less likely you're going to find someone in that bracket. So let's have another look. If we want to remove anyone who has the keyword SEO, we can do that by using the subtract symbol and SEO as a follow-up, followed by enter, and that will remove all SEO-related keywords from your search. Once again, you can go ahead and use the Load More button to make sure that you're getting all of the possible results. Remember that the more of these you add in, the less you're going to get out over here. Simple reason is, the more specific you are, the less you may find. So you can do this to your heart's content. We can add back in SEO by simply removing the restriction. We can remove the Los Angeles reiteration by simply removing it. It's really up to you what you want to include. So if we want to stick with LA, we hit enter on LA. More than 2 letters are needed. So Los Angeles, Los Angeles. We do not want to miss out on any of those. So you can go ahead and add in versions of the name as well, just to make sure that you are getting typos in there into your results pool as well. It's kind of similar to playing with keywords in other SEO sides of things, but to find leads, it is very helpful to play with different types of keywords, different types of search terms, so that you can get the information you want. Now, you can also look for job titles. Type in manager. And this will make sure that the manager keyword is highlighted all the way through your search. Also, you can add in various other details like specific companies. If you were looking for only the fellows from Dapper, you could use that as a keyword. They would come up. You could find more if they had into affiliations. But remember, the more specific you are, the less likely you are to get the full batch of results. So normally, people would just put in the normal ones. Put in Los Angeles, remove SEO, because that's not the market we're looking at. And then we want to go ahead and finish up the list. It's really a quick way to make sure that you're pre-filtering anyone that you have already decided doesn't fall into your bracket. For whatever reason, if you're not looking for any SEO companies, this is precisely the way you would go about it, precisely the search terms you would use. And using the Load More button, as you can see, works very quickly to pull through as many details as possible. I'm going to be checking on the progress of that every step of the way. I'm up to 80 employees selected. And a quick way to check on the list growing is to deselect all and reselect all. Once it seems to have stabilized, you can go ahead and press finish. Here, we're going to get 88 businesses and 80 employees. Even with all of my explaining and waffling, it's only taken about 10 minutes. It'll be 168 credits. And now, if you press Create Report, that will build through. So, while that's busy building up, I'm going to just run you through the web app again. That's at app.gopinleads.com. And this is where you can get your information on your last reports that you did, the recent activity on your account, and that will be updated every time you refresh or every time you access the web app. As you can see, the most recent one we did has been added. Here you can see the report generating. It says it may take a few minutes. And while it's doing that, I'm going to show you what the Reports tab looks like with your collection of reports, the one that's in progress, and the others that have been done previously. These are previous webinars. You can see these being built in previous videos. All right, so popping back into the in progress report, you'll notice that we let you know at every step of the way when the report has been completed. Here you've got your little pop-up, press See Report, and it'll take you through to the page where your report is located. If sometimes the link doesn't quite take you there, you can always refresh the page and just press the See Report button. Here you've got all of the details that you can expect from us. You've got email addresses aplenty. You've got business names. You've got free email addresses. You've got phone numbers. You've got social media addresses, or rather URLs, all of them that apply to the specific company. In Apex Digital Media's case, you've got 5 all included in that. You get the address, you get the location, you get their websites. You also get information about employees. Remember, anytime you see NA in the email field, that's a line of information you have not paid for. You've not been charged for that, and I'll show you proof of that in a moment. You get first name details, last name details, business names, job titles, emails, and LinkedIn details. And you can always go ahead and shuffle these according to order right here in the app. If you want to do it in Google Sheets, you can press View Google Sheet. Click on that, you'll go through to Google Sheets, and there's one little step left for you to do. When you go through to Google Sheets, you'll see that you have View Only shown on your screen. Now, you want to make sure that you can make changes to this, so press File, make a copy, call it something that matters to you, and make sure it says My Drive. Pressing OK will make sure that that saves through to your personal Google Drive. The original will always be accessible via your email and via your GoPinLeads account at app.gopinleads.com. So here you've got the results in your Google Sheets, and you can play with these, you can upload these, download these, whatever your heart desires to get your email campaign going. So as well, you can download an Excel sheet if that's the way you prefer to work. This will download an XLS format Excel file that you can go ahead and edit in Microsoft Excel. I, however, always use Google Sheets. Just a lot cleaner for me to have everything in the cloud all the time. So that is, in essence, how the tool works for you, okay? I'm going to go to the comments here. Is it possible to select N contacts per company to avoid finding too many contacts per search for a target company, or does this need to be a manual search selection process? Andrew, to the best of my knowledge, it will need to be manual. Remember, though, that once you've found a certain lead through the tool, you will not be charged for it again. So if you want to know more about that, if you look in the email that you'll be getting from us, you'll see a line in our transparency policy section that says something to the effect of 3 leads were charged earlier, which means that you found some of the leads before, 1 business and 2 employees. So we're refunding you 3 credits. So, if we've given you their details before, they'll be included, but you won't be recharged. That's at least a way that you can get around having the same information coming up all the time. So ending up with 10 or more contacts per company, yeah, you're right, Andrew. Andrew says that takes ages determining on which are the most relevant. So the best way to get around that would be in your search, you would want to go ahead and make sure that once you're into the employees section, let's go back, start a new search. Once you get through to the employees tab and you get to your search box, you're going to want to make sure that you're putting in the job titles that are the most relevant to you. So that would then be CEO, perhaps. So you'd put that in and say that you're only interested in speaking to the CEOs. Now, if in this case, like you can see here, not all of these are CEOs, you can select manually only the ones that are relevant, in which case, as you suspected in your comment, that would be a manual process. You can always go ahead and press the select all button, but do bear in mind that if you press select all and then deselect all, everything you previously selected manually would be lost and you'd have to do it again. So make sure that you are making sure of your job titles. So if we widen it to CEOs and managers, then we can make sure that we're getting potentially a bit of a broader scope. I hope that answers your question, Andrew. Please let me know if it does or doesn't, and I will be sure to help you with that. Also, Andrew, you have my email address, and the rest of you will have it by the end of this webinar so that you can contact me afterwards if we don't get around to everything today. If anybody else has some questions at this point and you don't know how to ask them, that could be because you're watching on GoPinLeads.com/webinars. In that case, you'll notice the YouTube logo in the video you're watching me in. If you click on that, you'll be loaded through to youtube.com. You'll see the live chat on the right-hand side, and you'll be able to interact there. Awesome, Andrew. I'm glad you are sorted. I'm glad that helped. Right, so that brings me to the end of the comments, the end of today's session. And if you do have any further questions, I'm going to be giving you my email address. That is jeff.a@goodmanlantern.com. That's been put up in the comments for you, as well as information about our GoPinLeads community on Facebook, as well as our Sales Leads and Pro Content Facebook group, which are gold mines for support, both with GoPinLeads and with your email campaigns in general. I really want to thank you all for attending the webinar today. My email address is on the screen as well. Now, if you don't have access to it in the comments, you will find it in the comments below, as well as those two links I mentioned. I hope that this has been a productive one for you. Any emails you want to send my way, feel free. We also have an amazing support team. That's support@gopinleads.com. Always there for you. I'm going to love you and leave you now. Do stay in touch.